friends, Renee here. Today I wanted to start a series around the question of what is our soul's purpose, our soul's mission? What is the reason that we are here at this time? This has really been a question that has been with me for a very long time. Since my early teens, I remember it showing up in my journaling, really showing up in my dreaming, and anytime I might get lost in thoughts of the future when I was younger, I can remember this question being there, like, what is my mission? And really being called to answer it. And I realize as of course, as I've gotten older, that not everyone feels called to answer that question. And so I think perhaps some people just, finish their education and are drawn to a certain career and follow that career and never question that path, and are kind of, following the steps. And when I say following the steps, they're kind of following that program of life that we are taught, perhaps as children, that you go to school, you graduate high school, you go to college, you get married, you have children. Those steps, they're on that path and following those steps, and they're never questioning those steps. But for me, this question, it was always there. I wouldn't say that it haunted me necessarily. It was just always there. And as I got older and I started following those steps, and following the steps of going to college, and then, kind of having my choices limited by, my grandmother stepped in and said, "You will choose one of these." And at the time I thought, well, she has my best interest at heart. And I could see that, choosing to become a doctor or a lawyer, two of her options, would have some sense of safety and security with it. And of course, I have my undergrad in accounting, and that's why I was good with numbers. And so it was an easy selection to make. It was a safe selection to make. But in the back of my mind, or in my insides, there was always this kind of niggling question: is that really your soul's mission, is to become an accountant? Really? No judgment on accountants. That it's a perfectly wonderful calling if it's really your mission. And as I got older and kind of discovered self-help work, growth work, I started to explore any way that I could examine these questions. And there's a myriad of books out there. And rather than listing them all, I think I probably own most of them. But I started to examine this question. And a lot of it talks about, paying attention to your zone of genius, paying attention to those unique gifts and talents that you have, and letting that guide you. And I was aware of kind of what those things were for me, but it just didn't quite fit. And as I got older, having the answer to this question just felt more and more like an imperative. Like I needed to go all out, to whatever it took to answer this question. And I had taken this question into religious ceremony. I had taken this question into shamanic ceremony. I had done the things that, like, okay, where's that divine download? And for me, it became such a calling of needing to be answered that I actually chose to go to Costa Rica a little over a year ago now and go to a place called Rhythmia, not sponsored. Go to a place called Rhythmia and do ayahuasca. And ayahuasca is a plant medicine. It is a sacred plant medicine. It is, and Rhythmia is a place that does plant medicine in a sacred way and in an intentional way. And I am not one to ever do anything that has me kind of losing control. I I don't like to drink to the point of losing control. I don't like to do any of that stuff. Like yeah. I just don't like that feeling of not kind of being in control of my being. And but they do ayahuasca in a very intentional way with a ton of support. And so when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I think this is a process that I can give myself over to. Because I really felt like I was the one blocking the message. I was the one blocking that kind of divine download. And so I went and had the most amazing experience. Separate series, probably. Amazing experience. And I got the answer to the question, what is my soul's purpose? But of course, it came in words that don't quite apply in this lifetime. And so it left me with different questions. But because my soul's purpose on the ayahuasca journey was to be a warrior goddess and a sexual priestess. Well, what did those words mean in present day? And believe me, when I heard the word sexual priestess, I'm like, I think you have me confused with the woman on the bed over there. I chose to argue with ayahuasca because I just was afraid of what that would mean. And I really did receive messages that it's not at all what you're thinking. You don't have a context to think of this yet, but I needed to pay attention. I needed to pay attention to my own awareness, the world around me, and that I would be guided. And over the course of the last year since ayahuasca, and even right after that, the thing I noticed was that calling of that question of my soul's mission stopped. It stopped. I felt really settled in the knowing that I had on the inside, even if I didn't understand what it would end up looking like. And I still don't know in the end what it will end up looking like in totality. I am just leaning into what I'm being shown. And so far, so much of what I've been shown is needing to step into my own empowerment, using my own unique gifts and talents around words, and clarity and vision, and helping people with those. And that has felt good to me. So I have leaned into that and continue to lean into that. So the reason I wanted to do this series today is really around, for you, first of all, if you're on this channel and following my work, you may be called to what is your own soul's mission. If you aren't, you are probably not going to feel like you quite fit in here. But if you've got a calling to really understand what it is and want to follow it, follow your soul's mission, or if you really feel like you already know it, you just have the doing part to work on, you're definitely going to be at home here. So ask yourself today and over the course of the next few days, do I know what my soul's mission is? Do I feel like I'm purpose driven? Really lean into that question. And then in the coming videos, we'll explore ways that you can, before ayahuasca. That's just one way to find the answer, but there are many others, and many others that you can do on your own. I just seem to have that block of getting to that answer, and I needed something that would remove that block. It's really about getting to that place where you have the knowing and the question just disappears for you because you have that knowing. And I really think that you can find that in meditation and journaling, and the writing wisdom practice is awesome for this, to really get clear on it. I've really been able to get clear on what those words are for me and where my edges of those words are, where I just know that there's a boundary there for me, or how I want to show up in the world doesn't quite, there's some asynchronous energies there that just don't quite work. So I know that that's not really real and true for me. So I explore the question. Let's start there. Just exploring the question. Meditate on it, write into the question, sit with it. Just hold the question. That's step one. Okay. I hope you are enjoying this content. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and follow along on this journey. And I'll leave links below if you'd like to explore leaning into your wisdom empowered life or the writing wisdom practice. I do have classes coming up always. So I'll leave the link below for that. And have a great day. All right. Bye.